Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bourbon Bites. My name is Clifton. Welcome to another Thursday night live stream. One of my favorite streams of every single year is where I do a blind flight of all three batches of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Well, my new batch of C924 just came in, so I am very, very excited for tonight's stream. You guys tend to enjoy these as well, at least based on the views. So I am thrilled to be back doing this for 2024. I want to say hello to some folks here in the chat who are watching live. If you are watching the replay, feel free to leave a comment down below saying what your favorite batch is. Now, like I said, this is a blind flight. I have an answer key on my Discord server. So I'm going to put this here. Answer key in the Bourbon Bites channel. Pin this comment here. So if you guys want a little sneak peek of the answers of the blind flight, you can check that link right there. Now, please don't spoil it in the chat. I do not know this answer key. This was not entered by me. So I am really, really excited to do this blind. So please don't ruin it for the team. The team. I don't know why I said the team. What was I reading? I was reading something. Please don't ruin it for me or the other viewers that are watching. Hello to a few folks in the chat. Good to see you. Embellish Podcast. You are indeed first. Taste and Sensibility. Doug, good to see you. Cheers. Whiskey Time. I thought you were telling me I was late, James, because that came in at 7:01. Donnie says, where am I? Who is this? Well, welcome, Donnie. I like your new profile picture there. That is cool. I like it a lot. James says he's got to drive about 2 hours to work tomorrow, or I'd stay for the whole video. Catch you on the replay. Well, everyone hit the thumbs up like James. If you're watching the replay, hit the thumbs up as well. Does help out the channel. Like I said, here is the link to the Discord server. I'm trying to pull this up so I can pin it myself. Pin message. There we go. There we go. So now it should be pinned for anyone that comes in a bit late. Zophir's here in the chat. Good to see you. Cheers, Donnie. West North Carolina was hit hard. I know everyone is in my thoughts that was affected by this hurricane. It's awful. My family's back in the Carolinas, so a lot of people were affected by that. So keep those people in your thoughts and prayers. I've seen a few GoFundMes going around for a few folks that were impacted. So if you have the money or if you have the ability or just, reaching out to them and letting them know you're here for them, please do. It's a tough time for a lot of people back. I know some people just got power back today, and that's like a full week. That's crazy. So yes, they are all in our thoughts. So embellish that sample A is actually a Malort according to the answer key. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. No, I picked the bottles out, so I know what bottles are what. I just don't know which one is which. So so like I said, answer key is on Discord. One thing I will do though, I will be doing a Wheel of Whiskey giveaway. If you know, you know. Every $5 super chat is an entry to the Wheel of Whiskey. You can get a chance to do the same blind flight at home with different naming convention, of course, because I want to make sure you get to have fun with it too. So, like I said, every $5 super chat is an entry to the Wheel of Whiskey. There we go, Wheel of Whiskey. That info is down there at the bottom. Like I said, I'll throw in a fourth one. So it'll be the 3 batches of this year plus C923 from last year. So that's going to be the Wheel of Whiskey giveaway when we get to that point. If anyone is interested in getting their own flight, that's how you can earn it. So Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. So I've done reviews of the A batch and the B batch of this year. Just to recap, A124 is a 10-year-old 9-month release at 119 proof. My focus has been really bad the past few streams. There we go. 119 proof. B524 actually is coming in at real hot. B524 is an 11-year, 2-month, 130.6 proof. C924, which just hit the shelves. This is 129 proof at 11 years, 0 months. So kind of right in between. And then to compare, I like pulling out one of the crowd favorites from last year. This is C923. So this is the 133 proof, 13-year, 7-month batch. So I know a lot of people really like this. So I'm throwing it in there in the blind and just see how it stands up compared to the other ones. Because we have some high proofers in this year's ECBP stream. So if you're not familiar, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof is the flagship, I guess, barrel proof product from Heaven Hill. They release it every year, 3 different batches. And they used to be a 12-year age statement. Now they give a different age statement for each release. So that's the age of the youngest barrel in there. So even though this one does say 11 years, 2 months, that's the youngest barrel. There is some older whiskey still in there as well. I've always been a huge fan. One of my favorite releases of the year. Like I said, this is one of my favorite streams. So I'm very, very excited for tonight. Zofer with the first super chat and Wheel of Whiskey entry. Cheers. Cheers to you, my friend. Well, right now you have very good odds to get your sample set. But good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. And as always, your super chats just really do help support the channel, help grow, help me get new bottles to try. If you want to support that way, or you can join our Patreon, which gives access to some fun things like our after party hangout that happens after every Thursday live stream, our monthly movie night, which is now October, so we're gonna watch something spooky this month. I'll put up a poll soon to get some votes on what we watch. I think last year we watched the original Beetlejuice, so kind of funny timing. But yeah, I love doing retro movies, usually looking around the 80s, but I do deviate to the 70s and 90s a bit. So we'll definitely take some suggestions over on our Discord server. Speaking of which, you guys can join us over there. Great community, not just patrons. It's open to everyone. We have a lot of channels like Movie Chat, where we do talk through movies, we talk through travel, we talk through video games, all the fun stuff. So join our Discord server. Would love to see you over there. But let's get into this flight, shall we? Now, I will say I have not had any whiskey yet today, so these are going to be hot. I am. I didn't have a warm up pour. I didn't even have a glass for a warm up pour, so I'm gonna have to. I don't even have anything to drink out of. No, I don't want to throw off my palate. So we're gonna just dive straight into these. Thank you, Donnie, for dropping the link to Patreon. Yes, thank you. $5 tier is the movie night, and $10 tier is the after party. So appreciate that. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a message. But all those benefits are over on our Discord server. Doug says no C924 in my market. I have A124, B524, and C919. Nice. Yeah, so this one it just came out in September. I literally just got the media bottle this week. Like, I literally was like, oh, what am I gonna do for my stream this week? And then it showed up. I'm like, well, I know what I'm doing for my stream this week. So as with all my Elijah Craigs, they are graciously provided to me by the Heaven Hill Distillery. Thank you to those folks. I did not spend my own money on these bottles. However, they're ones that I would have spent my own money on if I wasn't on their list anyways. I just have the opportunity to get them a bit early and as soon as they're hitting the market, so I can give my thoughts for you guys. So I like to do it blind. I like giving my, I know I haven't done a full review of C924 yet. We'll do that at the end of the stream once I reveal what the answers are. But for now, we're gonna do it blind and see how it stacks up. I actually have never even tasted C924, so I have no idea what to expect. I want it to be a true first impression. I've not had any of these batches in the past 2-3 months, so I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna say I'm not biased, but like there's no influence on. I'm not like, oh, that's familiar. That's the A batch. That's the B batch. I honestly don't remember. So I'm really, really excited. So with that, let's get into it. Let me know what you guys are drinking tonight. I know Doug has some Elijah Craigs. Are any of you guys drinking Elijah Craig as well? Tony Bag of Donut says, hey, y'all. See you in the after party. Setting up a brand new laptop for chat and Discord. Goodness, awesome. Well, hope to see you there, Tony. Maybe see you in new 4K. I don't know. I don't know if you have a new webcam or not, but good to see you, Tony. All right, so the naming convention for this flight, I like to, so when I do an Elijah Craig flight, I cannot do like, oh, sample A, sample B, sample C, because that throws it all off. Like, this is A batch, B batch, and C batch, and it just gets really confusing, and I get influenced by the letters, so I always pick a random theme. Sometimes I've done like Mario characters, sometimes I've done Star Fox characters. This week, I actually decided to go with characters from the Prime Video show Legend of Vox Machina. Season 3 premiered today. Spoiler, I work for Amazon Prime Video, so it's a title I've been working on the campaign for a while, so we are celebrating today with the launch of that season 3 of that show. So if you guys are fans, it is basically a Dungeons & Dragons campaign turned into an animated adult television show. Really fun. If you haven't caught up, you can watch seasons 1 and 2. I think they actually have them on YouTube right now, but they're on Prime Video. So yeah, season 3 just came out today, so I'm very, very excited. We just watched the premiere episode right before the stream, so let's Prime play. Prime is paying me, but not to say that. They're not paying me right now. So, all right, let's go ahead and get going. We're gonna start with Percy, which is one of the characters in the show. So our samples are Percy, Pike, Grog, and Vex. You don't need to know who they are. That doesn't mean anything. It's just I had to pick 4 characters from something. But like I said, those answers are all on the Discord server. Again, I'll put the link. The link is pinned here. So if you guys want to go see, please don't spoil it for the chat. But let's get into it. So we're gonna start with Percy. I also kind of feel weird giving them human name or giving them like names. So I'm like, oh, he tastes good. Percy tastes good. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I think I learned that the first time when I was talking about like Luigi or maybe Yoshi. I don't know. It got weird. So maybe I should stick away from the names, but whatever. All right, we're going for Pike. Ooh, love that nose. Wow. I mean, that's immediately a barrel-proof bourbon. Jason Billy says he might be sipping Percy. Okay, no spoilers, no spoilers. This is it's honestly, it's a little bit different on the nose than what I'm used to with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I feel like I said that last time I tasted through like A and B. They just felt a little bit, not off profile, but different profile. So yeah, it does have some, I mean, you can tell it's an older whiskey. It has some of those like, I don't know if I want to say like attic or closet, kind of those like dusty, like never touched room kind of notes. I love that on a whiskey, by the way. Like an older, I don't want to say cedar chest because it's not cedar, but it's like that thing you open up an old chest and kind of get that puff of dust, or an old library book. Really, really great note. One of my favorites. Yeah, the more I nose it, the more it's familiar to me. Again, Heaven Hill's one of my top 2 distilleries, maybe even my top distillery. So I'm very familiar with their flavor profile. And this is pretty, even though I say it's a little bit brighter, a little bit different, it's still pretty much obviously a Heaven Hill product. So I'm excited. Let's give Percy a taste. I told you it's going to get weird. Cheers. Okay. Surprisingly not as hot as I expected, at least up front. Like I said, this is the first bourbon I've had tonight, so I kind of was expecting that to hurt a little bit more. Mid palate, it kind of stuck around, definitely on the finish. It kind of hung around for a while, but tip of the tongue, it didn't like shock me in a way. I expected it to be like sharp up front, but it really wasn't. It actually was really, I hate saying smooth, but I feel like it was very smooth for a barrel proof bourbon. Let's take another sip. Yeah, I kind of like moving my tip of my tongue around my mouth like while I have it in there, because those notes that are typically front of palate are there, but they're not so strong by the proof. So it kind of is very, very sweet. I mean, it's one of the sweeter ones I think I've had in a while. It's sweet. It's got that rich baked bakery note like I always get on Heaven Hill products. That's definitely more on the back end. It's definitely a darker, a little bit burnt pie crust kind of thing, or even more of like a I say burnt pie crust, but it's like a buttery crust. It's weird. Like up front, it's sweet, like pie filling maybe. And maybe I'm just in the fall mood. It is fall now, so but it is like the front of it's like the filling, and then back end is like that burnt crust. That's really nice. It's hard to judge the first one without tasting the other, so we're gonna come back to Percy here in a bit. But I want to start with that. I'm glad that I did. That was really, really good. Matthew Parks, cheers to you. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you, Donna. Yes, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I go live every Thursday almost. I have some things going on in November, or October and November, so I might be missing a week every now and then, just like last month, but usually here every Thursday evening. I usually put up the stream a day or so in advance, so if you don't see a stream scheduled for that day, probably won't be live that day, but keep an eye on Discord. I usually post when I'll be on, so yeah. All right, let's go ahead and go to Pike. Let's move through our flight. Now, one thing I am noticing, color-wise, Pike looks pretty dark compared to the other ones. It's not going to show up on camera, but to me, this one looks a good bit darker. I'll hold up Percy again. It's hard to tell because I've already drank some of that one, but to me, Pike just looks a little bit darker, which maybe be giving me a hint on either proof or age. I don't know. But color-wise, it does read a bit darker. Let's give it a nose. By the way, these have been pre-poured, but I have challenge coins on all of them. So they have not been opened up. That's kind of why I'm doing a little bit of a swirl here. Oh, whoa, very different nose. That's it's reminding me of a nose that I get, and I often see like a younger wood note, like a sharp green wood note. Not typical at all for Elijah Craig. These are all clean glasses, by the way. I was almost thrown off. I was like, no, but these are all brand new glasses. Wow. Maybe it's the proof. Maybe it's the ethanol. Maybe this is one of the higher proof ones. So, like I said, I did throw in C923 into this flight. That was a lot of people's favorite from last year. I actually didn't love C923. To me, it was not that it was too hot, but I feel like it didn't stand up to the other. I think the A-Bash was my favorite last year. I was gonna put that in the flight. I think I've already finished my A123, but I know that C923 was so many people's favorite, so I had to throw it in there. So, all right, let's go ahead and give Pike a taste, shall we? Cheers. Oh, that's harsh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's that. God, that strong. Wow. Definitely higher proof than Percy. Ooh, that hits you. It's very ethanol forward. It's like it's combining that. It's almost like a gin. Like if you gave me like a barrel strength gin, it has like that little bit of like a not juniper, but just like woody, earthy. Earthy is probably a good way to put it, but like young green wood. I don't I don't love that one. Okay. I have guesses. I'm thinking that there's a chance that that's the C923 that I didn't love to begin with, but yeah, I did not love that on first sip. Let me give it a second try though. The nose has gotten a bit better. It's opened up a little bit on the nose. Still though really harsh. Like that proof is just really kicking there. If I was gonna enjoy this, I would probably have it over some ice. I typically love Elijah Craig barrel proof over ice. I think it holds up very well. That and like Knob Creek single barrels. But yeah, that is sharp is not a word I usually just use to describe. That's what I said to that one though. Yeah, I mean that's like it's like licking a barrel, like a really dark barrel note. The green note's kind of going away now that it's like opened up again. I just took the top off of this one, so I'm letting it open up a little bit more. It's still not melting out on proof, but it's definitely flavor wise are coming a little more round. They're a little more familiar, but still so different. I'll have to come back to Pike. I'm gonna leave the coins off from now. I want them to open up fully before we do some rankings. Matthew said, please pray for these broken survivors in Helen's path. Is it Helen? I think it's Helen. That have lost everything and are still without help yet. Please help if you can. Yeah, Matthew, you might have missed the top of the stream. I actually said the exact same thing. Yes, I've seen a lot of GoFundMe's out there. Support how you can, or at least offer them, a shower. I've seen some people saying like, hey, we have power back on. Like if anyone needs a shower or something, please let me know. I think that's really cool. Supporting your neighbors and the community. So yes, please keep those people in your thoughts. Definitely unprecedented in that part of the country. As someone from the Carolinas, I'm like, wow, I've just seen the damage. It's heartbreaking seeing places that I grew up just destroyed. So yeah, it's tough. Fortunately, everyone in my immediate family is okay. There are some relatives that were hit hard and weren't able to. I don't know the details because it's my cousin-in-law. I think I guess they're still a cousin. my fam. I don't know how to say this. My cousin-in-law. That doesn't make sense. Their mother, they couldn't get in touch with her because communication was cut off and she was on oxygen. So I don't know the update there. I really am hoping for the best there, but I'm not close with them, so I don't know the details. But yeah, so I know that I've heard that story so many times. So, oh, is it Helene? I'm sorry. I've honestly just read it. I've never heard it, or if I've heard it, it's just been like in passing, like news and TikTok and stuff. But apologies, Helene. Also, hi, Emily. Sorry, I don't know if I said hello earlier, but good to see you. All right, let's move on to Grog. Let's go ahead and give this one a nose. Color-wise, a little bit lighter than Pike. Oh, but nose is way more what I expect from Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Sweet, almost like still with the pie crust, like a crumbly pastry. I don't know why I'm saying crumbly, but it kind of reminds me of like a flaky, buttery biscuit. Again, not as burnt. Percy had a burnt taste to it. Not in a bad way, but it had like a burnt pastry note. This one's more medium well. I'm just kidding. It tastes more like, it smells more like a pie crust that's kind of, still frozen or whatever. It doesn't have the char flavor. All right, let's go ahead and give Grog a try. Mm. I think we're stepping down a little bit in proof here again, which is good. Not that don't get me wrong, I love high proof, but I think Pike got me. Like it was pretty intense. I'll have to come back to it and maybe give it a second opinion, but to me it was a little intense. It wasn't as drinkable. I like drinking ECBP neat. Usually, like I said, it stands up to ice, but when I'm drinking it, I usually want it neat. So Pike was a little tough to try neat. So, but Grog and Percy definitely more tolerable. Grog doesn't have as definitive of a finish as I felt like Percy had. Mid palate, it's nice. It's probably been the best mid palate so far. I just think the finish on Percy is a little bit longer, a little bit better. But again, we're gonna go back through and taste them all again. But on first sip, let me get another sip. But so far, Grog, I also really enjoy. Mm. Yeah, it makes you go, That's usually a good sign. I mean, that's a straight up traditional Elijah Craig barrel proof flavor profile. I really like that. And that sounds weird. It's like, well, duh. But no, some of these have been a little off profile. So I'm glad to see one that's the traditional. Again, I've been buying these since 2017, 2018. There's a certain expectation of flavor profile for Elijah Craig barrel proof that sometimes is missing. But so far tonight, that one hits the standard flavor profile very, very well, and I like it a lot. So we'll see. Let's move on to Vex, our final one. Like I said, there is a mystery one in here that is from last year. Just to kind of mix it up a bit. So I do have all batches of 2024 plus one from 2023. Let's give Vex a nose. Okay, a little bit more of that earthy thing again. So both Pike and Vex have an earthy quality to them that neither the other one do, especially on the nose. I mean, that one's almost. So I said the Pike was more like a gin. Ooh, that just splashed in my eyeball. That is not pleasant. Of course, to pick up the highest proof one that just splashes in my eye. Of course, I couldn't have picked up the lower proof one. Thankfully, I seemed to just miss it. So, anyways, yeah, Pike is earthy. The gin kind of went away, so I'm gonna let this open up a little bit. I think maybe I oh man, it definitely did get in my eye. Now it's hurting. Um, let it open up. I don't know what's causing that like earthy note, but it's when I take the challenge coin off of them. So the only thing I could think of is maybe I did have the window open in here earlier. I closed it before pouring the samples, but maybe the air from outside got in these before they got closed off. I don't know. Let them open up a little bit. Doug says I usually get a few more flavors with a couple drops of water. Well, I do have my water dropper here. We can definitely do that, especially if there's two that are really close. So, Vex on the nose. Yeah, it's starting to open up a little bit. It may have been just because I had the window open earlier. Still earthy though. I mean, both Pike and Vex are similarly earthy. Let's go ahead and go for a taste. Cheers. Oh, I like that. Okay. It has the earthiness on the nose and on the palate. It's dark, it's rich, it tastes old. The first thing that comes to me is like this tastes older than everything else we've tried so far. Man, that is a long finish too. Wow, okay. That finish lingered. It stuck around on the back of the tongue. Even like now, it's still going like on the tongue. Not in like the throat, it's not like burning, but it is sticking around on the tongue. I like that. Let's go for another sip of Vex. And then we'll go back through, of course, and taste through them again. That one's rich, mouth coating. Is pretty hot. I would think that's up there in proof too. Um, but it doesn't drink as like it feels like it's supposed to be hot. Like it doesn't catch me off guard. It's like the mouthfeel and everything adds up to making sense that it's hot. So let me go back to Pike since those two to me were most similar. I'm curious to do a little back and forth. Let me do a palate rinse real quick. Let's go back to Pike. The nose is definitely opened up quite a bit. Almost as a bit of like a honey, like a not honeysuckle, but like a honey. Have you guys ever had this? Like, I think they're called Strusen waffles. They're like those really flat, like cakes. You're supposed to eat them with like coffee and stuff. They're really thin, and they are usually like waffle. They look like waffle cones, and they have like a thin layer of like whether it's caramel or honey and all that stuff. I think I've had some with honey. The nose on this kind of reminds me of that waffle. It has that crust note, but a sweet filling. Actually, that's Sofer. He was just at Oktoberfest in San Diego. So, um, okay, Pike is opened up. I think these two are the highest proof, Pike and Vex. I think they need to open up. I need to not judge them based on that first sip, because going back to Pike, I enjoy it quite a bit better than I enjoyed it the first time. So all of the challenge coins have been removed, by the way. Thank you guys for the help on the challenge coin. Still have some available, so if you are interested in purchasing one, if it'll focus, come on now. There. Listen, I had a software update on my camera, and I swear it broke my focus. It literally keeps focusing and then unfocusing, so I apologize. Whatever. It's a cool coin. All right. Also, reminder, now that we're halfway through the flight, I am doing a Wheel of Whiskey giveaway. So someone's going to win this same flight to do at home blind. I'll mix up the order a bit. So if you are interested, every $5 super chat is an entry. Right now, we only have one person entered. So, they're either guaranteed to win, or if you guys want to give them a little competition, throw your name in the ring. Swan said, "Oh, Wheel of Whiskey. Yep, it is back. It's been a minute since we've done Wheel of Whiskey. So that's why I have to remind people, it is, first and foremost, super chats do support the channel. But if you do super chat, you get entered on the Wheel of Whiskey. So we'll see what happens tonight. All right, we're going to go back through. I'm going to do a palate cleanse again. Also, hi, Swan. Good to see you, man. Hope to see you on the Hangout. All right. So let's go back through. Let's stick with Pike and Vex. Okay, you know what? We'll start with the two lower proof ones. At least what I'm interpreting as lower proof. Percy and Grog. Right now, we'll start ranking and finding my favorites. And then we'll do a reveal of what's what. Let me go back to Percy, which is my first one. Nose is relatively light. Still that very yummy bakery. I feel like I say that note all the time, but like it's always on Heaven Hill products. So I'm very excited. We have another entry to our Wheel of Whiskey, Taste and Sensibility. What's up, Doug? I think Doug's won a couple times. So Doug, you are now entered with 3 entries. So now the odds are up. I love a little gambling. I just was in Palm Springs last weekend. Did quite a lot of gambling. Lost quite a lot of not too much, but definitely no huge wins. So tonight might be your night to get a big win. Do y'all remember I used to do like slot machine streams? Those were fun, but I got tired of like people being weird about me filming. Like there are casinos that let you do it, but like people are weird. And like one time, like not most recent time, but one time like this guy was like freaking out at me and called security, and it was, some of you saw it live. So I kind of strayed away from those a little bit, but I did enjoy doing them. So maybe I'll bring them back sometime. All right, like I said, Percy's light on the nose. Let's go back for a taste. Relatively light on the palate, but like I said at the beginning, skips the tip of the tongue, goes straight to back to mid palate. Hangs out there a little bit. Very, I don't want to say short finish, but it's definitely not a long finish. It's very pleasant. It's very enjoyable whiskey, but it has to stand up to all 4 or all 3 other ones. So let me go to Grog. I lose my signal. I'm back. That was weird. Am I still here, guys? My screen went black. And then it came back on. So I don't know if I lost power or what, but I think I'm still here. Okay. I think we're still here. That was weird. Matthew Park says, for some more competition. All right, Matthew, you are entered. Yes, love it. Let's make it fun. No losers supporting your channel. There is no losers. You guys are here. We're friends. We're hanging out. No one is losing out on anything. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Donnie says still here. Yeah, that was weird. It glitched and it said I lost signal. So we're still here. All right, let me taste that again because I got distracted by that happening. Ooh. I like Grog. Like, it's still not super hot. At least it doesn't drink it. It has a little bit more fruitiness. It's almost like, you know how I said the other one's like pies? If I were to call like Pike a pumpkin pie, not that it's necessarily pumpkin, I might still be thinking of fall. Grog is the more of the like baked like cherry, or not cherry pie, maybe cherry, like really, really dense, dark, cooked cherry notes. Maybe a little bit of that. That is tough. I gotta give the edge to Percy between. I'm sorry. I'm gonna give the edge to Grog between Percy and Grog. But those two are what I'm interpreting as the lower proofs. We have two higher proof ones, I think. We have Pike and we have Vex. So let me go to Vex now. This is the part where I go back and forth and rank them. So, oh, Vex has a bit of like a black tea note on the nose after doing all of them. This is the one that was earthy to me. So the black tea, earthy, still in the same realm, at least in my opinion. Yeah, but it's definitely leaning more black tea now. Light up front, but similar to Percy, it hangs out on the back end. But this one has a richness, a body. I mean, that just drinks like a limited edition whiskey, which makes me feel like that might be. I've said that before. Do you guys get when I say that it tastes like a limited edition whiskey? I hope it makes sense. It tastes like a premium product. It tastes like, oh, this is the high end version. The rest are like, you know, mid range, and this one's like, oh, this is some allocated stuff, right? Vex has a little bit of that character to it. I like it. It's something that I feel like I wouldn't drink all the time because of that proof, but flavor wise, it has all of the things I really like. So I'm really curious to see which one that is. Let me go back to Pike now, the other high proof one. There we go, Stroop waffles. I said something like that, right? I think I said Stroop wafers or something. By the way, there is the Discord link for the answer key for any last minute looks, little peeks until our reveal. Let's go back to Pike real quick. Man, Pike is so hot. I like it, but it's the most intense. It almost has like a cinnamon hotness to it. It's really good. I mean, do I think it's my least favorite? No. Oh man, this is tough. They're all good. None of these this year are like disgusting me. I will say Vex and Pike, when I first nosed them, didn't love it. But now that they've opened up, they definitely need some time, especially if they are the higher proof ones. They need some time to open up. All right, I think I'm going to lock in my order now. Actually, I think they're already in my order. Okay, wow, okay. Let me make sure. Concentrated and complex for Vex LE. That's my vibe, at least this impression, this blind flight. We'll find. I mean, they are all. Sorry, every time I pour whiskey, there's like one gnat that comes into this room and it will not go away. Let me verify this, but I think I have my order. Oh, I got it. Oh, I don't know if I got it. All right, tasting one final time, and then we'll do a reveal. Just solidifying my opinion. My second and third place are going to be tough because there's things I like about both of them, and they're probably the closest in terms of my ranking because they're different, but there's things I like about both in different ways. We'll see. We'll see. And one more to verify. Oh, yeah. I'm very certain in my first place, at least tonight. Disclaimer, palates change every day. It could be based on what you ate, what you drank earlier, how stressed you are. Lots of things go into influence your palate. If I did this flight another day, my results may be very different. But as of today, 10-3, this is my ranking of Elijah Barrel Proof batches of 2024. Oh, I like this. I like this challenge. I love a good challenge. You guys, sum each one up with 1 to 2 words. I love that. That's fun. Okay. Let me not reveal my order yet then. All right. Percy. Light and delightful. Grog. Let me taste it again. Rich and oaky. 3 words. Okay. These, I mean, they're all the same flavor profile, but I don't know. I went back to grog. I want to think a little bit more on that one. Grog is well-rounded. Well-rounded with grog. Percy is light and delightful. Grog is well-rounded. Vex. Creamy, and this is the one I'm going to say rich. Rich and creamy. That's why I changed that. Vex is rich and creamy. Grog is well-balanced. Percy is light and delightful. Pike. I'm trying to find words that are positive. Pike is mouth watering and mouth numbing because it is hot. So they're all positive notes. Some of them I'll explain a little bit more once I do my reveal. That one literally numbed my lips. Definitely need another sip after that. I mean, I said this earlier, but Pike I feel like needs ice. Of the 4, that one needs the ice the most. All right. Y'all ready for reveal of my ranking? Reminder for the folks just joining me, I am giving away samples of all 4 of these. Every $5 super chat is an entry to the Wheel of Whiskey. We have 6 entries so far, so your odds are pretty good. Maybe. We'll see. All right. My last place, again, I like them all. You heard the descriptions. They're all very good. My last place from this blind flight, I'll reveal which one is it. Let me pull this up so I have it. My last place has to go to spicy and pointy. I did say sharp. Sharp. It's sharp, but I feel like sharp's negative. Sharp. Definitely, you're right, Emily. I should throw sharp in there because I said that my first reaction was that it's sharp, and I'm like, that's not even a note I normally use. So, sharp and pointy. Yeah. Well, I'll go into detail as I go through. So, my last place this flight is Percy. That was one that I felt was light and delightful, is my description. It's a good flavor. It just doesn't do what I expect an Elijah Craig barrel proof to do. They're obviously all barrel strength, right? But this one doesn't drink it. This one drinks like a 110-ish proof. Flavors are all good. They're all like what you kind of expect, but nothing really excites me about it. I think it's a fine whiskey. It's just not my favorite. So let's reveal. Percy, my last place, goes to... Oh, interesting. This goes to B524. So what is that one? Wow, what? That's crazy. This was 130.6 proof. That does not drink it. I guessed that it was like 110. Let's see. Really? Come on, focus. This is the one that I said was light and delightful. What the heck? 130.6. Wow, that does not drink that at all. That's crazy. I mean, if you want a easy to drink 130 proof whiskey, Percy's where it's at. I just don't think it has the character of a high proof whiskey. I'm looking for that body and that richness. Maybe that means it's not all about proof. Very interesting. I'm very excited to see what the rest of these are. All right. My third place. Like I said, second and third place were very close for me. My third place has to go to Pike. I know it's the one that I said was sharp. It was spiky, pikey. I think it's a good flavor. I just think the proof was a bit overwhelming on this one, on Pike. Now, my guess, based on my memory of last year, my guess is Pike is C924. I could be wrong, but just if I were blindly guessing, that's the one that I didn't really care for last year that everyone went crazy for. So let's see. What is Pike? Let's reveal. Pike is Elijah Craig barrel proof C924. That's kind of what I thought. I didn't love it last year. I thought I would throw it in here just to see if it would stand out to me. It really didn't. Now, this one is the highest proof. This one is indeed 133 proof. So at least I got that right. That is the spikiest of it all. again, if you've had C923 and you love it, great. It didn't do it for me, and I noticed a lot of people really liked it last year. So I'm like, well, maybe I'm the odd one out. But again, it still didn't. It didn't do it for me. Surprised that Percy scored lower though. They're around the same proof. They taste so vastly different in terms of intensity. All right, my second place. This is the one that was like second and third. I go back and forth because I really like things about both. My second place is Grog. Grog to me was also lighter, but every flavor, like point on my palate it hit, it excelled. It was great at the tip of the tongue, great mid palate, great finish. Just overall great experience drinking Grog. I would happily buy Grog, and my top two would happily buy them if I saw them on the shelf. Oh, YouTube crashed. Maybe that's what happened earlier. Are we still good? Give me a thumbs up in the chat and a thumbs up on the stream if you are good. There was some weirdness earlier too. I'm glad it wasn't just me. Yeah. Let's hold it to reveal Grog until we know we're good. Let me know in the chat if we are good to keep going. It was just Donnie. Okay. It probably was. The tech guy has tech issues. All right. Just kidding, Donnie. My second place is Grog. Really great flavor profile. I would absolutely buy a bottle of it. Let's see what Grog is. Grog is ECBP C924. Okay, this is the newest batch. Like I said, I had never had this batch. I didn't want to like taste it yesterday because then I feel like I would know where it is in the lineup. So this is the brand new release. This is the C924. It's 129 proof. So far the lowest proof we've had. Wow, okay. 129 proof, 11 years old, 0 months. Come on. You got this. C920. Oh, gosh. Come on. Okay. Just squint in your eyes and pretend. There you go. This was my second place. 129 proof, 11 years, C924. That is really good. I would absolutely buy another bottle of that. Now I'm blurry. There we go. All right. So that means my first place, which when I had a sip of this earlier, I was like, I really, really like this. My first place was Vex. This is the one that I described as rich and creamy. Vex is A124, meaning A124 is my favorite Elijah Craig barrel proof of 2024. This one is the lowest proof, believe it or not. And the youngest, right? 119 and 10 year 9 month. I mean, barely the youngest, but it's the youngest. That is, even though it's the lowest proof, it's the creamiest, it's the richest. It sticks on the palate. I thought this was one of the high proof ones. That is crazy to me. The A124 and the C924 are instant buys for me if I see them on the shelf. B524 didn't quite do it. Pike, which was the hot one from C923, still too hot for me, still didn't really like it, but my third place. Chris, all the way from Australia, is here. He says, hello from an extremely drunken bottle share from Southern Kentucky. Lila is white girl wasted and Brandy is under the table. I don't doubt it. Well, before we wrap up, because people are getting a little drunk, we are doing a Wheel of Whiskey spin. Listen, you guys have 3 minutes to enter. Every $5 super chat is entered in the Wheel of Whiskey. Someone is going home with all 4 of these samples, and you can do a blind flight on your own. I'll label them something completely different. Do the blind flight. I'll put an answer key. Think of it like a mystery box, you know? Did you guys used to, when you were kids, get those like mail subscription, like, they weren't like National Geographic, but it was like, oh, solve the case. They reminded me like Carmen Sandiego. I don't remember what they were, but they were mail order. You got them like once a month. I loved those as a kid. Think of this as like the adult version of that. So every $5 super chat is an entry. We're going to spin the wheel in now 2 minutes. So last chance to get in. But good, man. I hope drunk Chris and Lil and Brandy join the hangout. We'll see. Doug says mine weren't blind, but C919 beat the recent batches, but no C924 around me yet. Well, you'll have to come back and leave a comment on this video once you have it. Let me know your thing. Cliffy says text Brandy the link so we can join in. The link to what? The StreamYard? Do y'all want to come on the StreamYard? Is that the plan? I don't want y'all to get me banned. I mean, or are you talking about the hangout? Because you can join the hangout. I don't give a crap what happens on the hangout. No, we want to join the live. This feels like a bad idea. What do you guys think? Well, I'll let the chat decide. Are we letting the Aussies and Brandy join the live stream? Do y'all want to see them? let me know. We'll do the Wheel of Whiskey spin. How about we do the Wheel of Whiskey with them on the stream? How about that? No one's chimed in. Okay, they don't. No one wants you guys. I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's wait till we get a response. Vex is amazing. Grog is also good. So A124, C924, absolute favorites of the year. Would it be great to try them another night and see how they do? So very, very full. I think we're ready to do the Wheel of Whiskey, are we? All right. Let's do it. Okay, Chris, I'll see you at the after party, okay? I don't want to keep people waiting. They have a Wheel of Whiskey, a chance to win. All right, one more minute. I'll give it one more minute. I know some people might be figuring out the super chat of it all. But let me go ahead and get my screen pulled up. There we go. Boom. All right. That's because they have all seen White Girl Wasted Little on stream. We have our entries. Everyone has been entered to the Wheel of Whiskey. Thank you, everyone, for entering. It's such a great, I appreciate your support so much. I think we're gonna call it. I think we're gonna call the wheel spin. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different entries. Someone is gonna win all 4 samples tonight for a blind flight win. Shall we spin? Shall we do it? Let's spin the Wheel of Whiskey. Let me just. Ooh, I don't have the right. Let me hide that. There we go. Okay. Wheel. Let's try it again. Wheel of Whiskey. Congratulations, Doug. Taste and Sensibility. You guys go check out his channel. Doug, congratulations again. I already have your info, so unless that's changed, let me know. I will get these out to you probably early next week. Congratulations. That's so awesome. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Maybe you do a video. I think did you win last year? I swear, I've sent you a blind flight before, and I think you did on the channel. But awesome. Congratulations, Doug. Just reach out if you've changed it, the address-wise. Otherwise, I'll send it to where I have done previously. Thank you both, Matthew and Zophar, for entering. I'm sorry, again, no losers here. A great community. Hope to see you all on Discord, whether you're a patron or not. Just a great community of friends. But we gotta go see Chris and Lil in the hangout. So thank y'all so much for watching. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments. If you have these, let me know what your favorite is, or if you're gonna go seek them out, come back to this video, bookmark it, and leave a comment below after you've tried them. But until next time, this has been Bourbon Bites, whiskey reviews with an 80s twist. I was gonna say watch Legend of Vox Machina, but again, I'm off the clock, so watch it if you're into that kind of thing. All right, cheers, y'all. See you next week. And next week, I think I'm gonna do a 2XO stream. I've not reviewed any 2XO products. Of course, the infamous new line from Dixon Deadman. I have 3 different of their products. Shall we see if they are really worth the big bucks? We'll find out next week. Cheers, y'all. See y'all next week. Until then, I'll see you on Discord. Have a good one. Bye.